Mr. Speaker, there's one thing worse than gridlock, according to my predecessor, Congressman Henry Hyde. The worst thing than gridlock is the greased chute of government. And it's ironic that the very administration that jammed through the Affordable Care Act, also known in the vernacular as Obamacare, the very group that foisted that on the American public in the middle of the night without much oversight, without much discussion, just jammed it all through, now has a new remedy as it relates to this latest problem, and that is do it again. Do it again on another issue. You know, we heard our friend from New Jersey posing a question, and he's misinformed by the nature of his question was somehow that the American public is paying for this. And yet we had testimony that Mr. Camp, the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, asked this question of Mr. Barthold, who is the Chief of Staff for the Joint Committee on Taxation. He asked this question. This is Dave Camp, chairman of the committee. Do these proposed regulations respond to some kind of revenue loss or some kind of tax avoidance scheme? Answer, not that I'm aware of, sir. These organizations are generally exempt, and a revenue loss has not been identified as the basis of these proposed regulations. So let's not kid ourselves. Here is the reality. The reality is that this stifles speech. This is from an administration that has been complicit in overseeing an Internal Revenue Service that has picked winners and losers, Mr. Speaker. It's been able to say, you get to participate in the public debate and you don't. We ought not do this. There have been over 100,000 comments on this proposed regulation. For those that want to participate and offer their own comment, Mr. Speaker, they can go to roskam.house.gov/don't-be-silenced to make sure that their voice is heard as well, offering an official comment on this. But one thing we do know. We know that an administration which has a tendency to over-respond, we know that an administration that has not much credibility, frankly, on being thoughtful and nimble as it comes to legislation is not the administration that we should trust at this point in time with the rule of such incredible consequence when they've demonstrated no capacity to do right things in the past. I urge the passage of this bill and I yield back.
General from